I have to start by asking you, what are all those posters in the lift of your building?
Okay. So there is this part 1 and a part 2. So part 1 is, and this is something I actually really respect.
Yeah.
The Body Corp president has learnt over the years a bit, and our Body Corp president is excellent. He's so dedicated. He's like retired man in his 60s. He's got time, but he's the best.
Yeah.
And he has discovered that sending warnings and like telling people don't do it again or trying to issue fines in a Body Corp world, because Body Corp is like the biggest scam there is going.
Oh, it is. And it's quite topical at the moment, actually.
We should actually talk about that next year.
We should.
But he's learned that it doesn't work. The best way to get people to be accountable for their own actions and to be responsible is to name and shame.
Oh, I love it. It's aggressive. But an effective approach, I'm assuming.
Yeah. So if you do something like put polystyrene down the rubbish chute and block it, and that means the cleaner has to either like doesn't have time to like do what he needs to do, or he has to build the Body Corp, because it's like we pay for that more money. He will put a picture of you doing it in the lift and say, this selfish resident blocked the bin chute by stuffing something that they know shouldn't go down the bin, causing it to be blocked, and therefore it's costing us extra money.
He uses reputation as leverage. I love it.
But also,
Actually, I do have to ask. So does he have access to the cameras?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
And this is part of my part 2.
Okay, tell me your part 2. So what I'm referring to when I'm talking about posters in the lift is that there are intruder posters in the lift. So these aren't residents. These are randoms.
Yeah.
And it looked like a warning. What happened?
All right. Live in an apartment building, and last night, it's like, in Home Alone, they've got the wet bandits and they turn the water on after robbing each house.
Absolute classic.
I'm gonna call these guys the Crumb Bandits.
The Crumb Bandit.
The Crumb
All right.
So every Christmas, our apartment seems to attract weirdos. It's just an annual thing. It's every year I've lived here, we attract weirdos. And I think it's just the time of year people are away. There's lots of parcels going on. It's a limited time crime promotion.
Well, I think what's frustrating about it is it's quite a beautiful building.
It is. It's really nice.
Yeah.
So I get home about 11:15 from a barbecue, and I had to go pick up Albert. He was with our next door neighbour, and he was having a date with his girlfriend, Maisie, who's a Scottish Fold cat.
He's reckless. I love it. Full in love.
Yes. So generally more social than I am. And we get Albert, and we were just having a chat in the hallway, and one of our neighbours goes downstairs to take his dog out for a walk. And he comes back up, and weirdly enough, we've got a plate of honey joys because my neighbour made honey joys, and we give it to him, and he'd never had them before, and we're talking about that, and he's like, oh, there's this really strange man sleeping in the lobby. And I'm like, oh, that's not good. So we okay, let's just get him
late
out.
at night.
This is 11:15.
Okay, it's weird.
Yeah, so the group of us go downstairs, and there's a guy fully camped out in the lobby. He's got power tools and 2 helmets, and there is fast food crumbs everywhere. And we're like, what are you doing? I know he doesn't live in this building. He knows he doesn't live in this building. And he's like, just wait for a mate.
Oh my God, the classic line.
The classic line. Cannot name the apartment, can't name who he's here to see. And we're just like, you need to go. It's private property. You can't wait here. And he's like, is that the rules? And I'm like, those are the rules tonight.
Oh, good on you.
Yeah.
Were you scared?
No.
Good.
I lived in West Richmond for years.
Yeah, I know exactly. That's very close to where I live. So, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, wasn't worried. Also, there's a group of us. What's he going to do? Worst case, we'll just go back upstairs and call the police. And we're like, you got to go. And he's like, I'm not leaving. I've got a right to be here. And I'm like, you really don't. Private property, off you go. And he's sort of just like...
And he's still lying on the couch down there?
Covered in crumbs.
What? Weird.
So weird. And I'm like, things are just off with this. So we finally get him out the door, and he's kind of really fighting. I'm like, off you go. Goodbye. Thank you so much. Please don't return. And he's like, my mate. And I'm like, mate.
Oh, so he's not aggressive, but he's just not, he's refusing to leave.
He's refusing to leave. And I'm like, if your friend was generally upstairs, you would have been like, I'm going to call him.
Outside or, yeah.
Anyway, we get back upstairs, and I text the Body Corp president guy to be like, hey, just letting you know, we've ejected this guy. Something's not quite right. Maybe connected to all the other posters about intruders in the building. And within minutes, the Body Corp president has come upstairs.
Oh.
And he's got the cameras on his phone. And he's like, he's got a friend. And we're like, there's a friend. So we go back downstairs and then he like looks.
Now there's 4 of you. This is like Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah, oh my God. So he's then looking at the cameras and he's like, oh, there's someone else sitting on the couch.
Oh, it's the same guy.
No, so we get downstairs and by the way, the Body Corp president's like, I'm going to go down the stairs so that we can kind of like come at different angles.
Yeah.
And the Body Corp president also now calling the police, which I thought was at the time a bit strong. But anyway.
Good on him.
Actually, he was in the right for this one. It's a different guy. And this guy's like, oh, no, I'm with the Airbnb. And I'm like, oh, well, you know, this guy. And he's like, I think he's stolen something. And weird that he had power tools. And
hang on, is this the new guy had power tools or the original one with the crumbs?
The original one with the crumbs.
Okay.
Sitting on the couch with 2 helmets, crumbs, and power tools. And we're looking at the footage of him entering the building and he entered with no helmet and no power tools. So we're like, where did this come from?
Yeah, he's gotten into someone's cars, someone's storage containers.
Oh, he's got a friend.
Yeah.
So then the guy's like, oh, he's just outside. And we're like, oh, okay. So we go out to find this guy and Body Corp president's on the phone to the police at this point. And we're like, okay, we kind of know he's taken something. We don't know where the power tools and helmets have come from. Did the other friend have it? We don't know. Anyway, we can't find the other friend, so maybe he's left. But this other guy is just looking sus and he's hiding behind the corner.
Creepy.
He's getting uncomfortable because we're making him feel really uncomfortable. He starts up his like scooter / motorcycle to like drive away. And we just hear this like, we look behind us and this guy is like sprinting down the alleyway across the side of our building. And he full on like Hollywood style hot on back of this scooter. But they're both chunky men, so they don't quite execute well. And they skedaddle into the like darkness
with their power tools and their helmets.
Yeah. So then we like the 4 of us are just standing there looking at each other being like, that's weird.
Very weird.
Anyway,
where did this guy come from, the running one?
Oh, he was in the garage, we found out. Because we actually worked out that he'd actually pried open the garage door and like because they were planning on stealing stuff.
Oh, that's horrible.
So we actually foiled their plight.
It sounds like you caught them
in the act. Hopefully they don't come back. Then the police turn up and me and my neighbour were given the task of checking to see if anything looked out of place. Mind you, 4 of us, we're all having the time of our lives.
Oh, yeah. I love the thrill of this.
It was so thrilling. Like, the police are like, this is your task. I'm like, I'm on it. I'm with my neighbour. The Body Corp president, he's showing the police the footage. All 4 of us were having a great time. I know we shouldn't laugh about these things.
But I love it. And it's like the camaraderie and anyway, where's it landed now?
So stuff was stolen. We don't know from who.
Okay.
Because like I think the own residents themselves haven't quite figured it out.
Yeah. Well, it's only been 24 hours.
Yeah, and we're gonna check tonight to see if they return.
Oh my God, you'll be ready with your pitchforks and I love
my
it.
honey joys.
Yeah, your honey joys seems to be an essential for this kind of thing, huh?
Yes. Welcome back to Spin Cycle. It's our final episode for the year, which means festive chaos, big stories, and a little bit of reflection.
Today we're covering what's been top of mind, a Tom Silvagni case update, the Epstein files drop, and why Christmas has quietly become an annual interrogation that women didn't sign up for.
Plus, we're closing out the year with what we're leaving behind, what we're taking into 2026, and why this moment feels more about shedding than reinvention.
Let's get into it. Welcome to Spin Cycle, where we dig into the stories shaping the world.
And take a closer look at the patterns, power plays, and yes, the biases hiding in plain sight.
We're Gab and Claire, 2 friends with MBAs, a lot of opinions, and a healthy amount of skepticism.
We're here to help you think twice and maybe have a few laughs.
Let's get spinning.
All right, Gab. But first, what is top of mind for you this week?
So I'm going to start by letting you know about a personal confession of mine. And that is that my hairdresser has been on mat leave and I love her. I trust her, as usually women do with their hairdressers, right? We're loyal. We trust them in a way that borders this sort of emotional dependence on them. And we don't cheat on our hairdressers.
No. What's your hairdresser's name?
Her name's Briley. She's gorgeous. She's just had a beautiful baby and thankfully she's coming back. But
she's on maternity leave. She's taking
not
care of
soon
her
enough.
baby.
I know. And it's a great reason. But as a dedicated customer of hers. I'm waiting, but I'm suffering. And it really means that I've not had a proper haircut in well over 6 months, Claire.
Oh,
And my hair became a bird's nest. And so I've delayed the inevitable. I've used packet dyes. Corey's trimmed my hair at some point. That's where we're at.
he'd be really good at trimming hair, by the way, because he's very precise.
He is very precise and he did a good job, but like I usually get my hair done every 6 weeks or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's not coping. And the earliest appointment I can get in with Briley, which is working again, is February.
Okay, so
Claire?
you had to do something.
Yes, I knew. I'm like, I'm not going to make it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make it.
I
till
get this. I
February.
get this.
So I was at Vic Gardens
Mhm.
and already emotionally fragile because, you know, when you're like, when your hair's not good, you feel disheveled, like it does a lot to your confidence.
Mhm.
And I'm walking around with this bird's nest. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to shop around for a haircut. And all I wanted was a trim and I was treating it like a clearance rack because I think the thought process for me was I can't go to another, I shouldn't say real hairdresser because then I'll feel obliged to having to be loyal to this new one.
Yeah.
So that's why I need to go someone quick.
There's no
It's
emotional,
transactional.
no emotional
You know,
attachment.
they don't know my name. You don't, you know, it's very transactional. I don't have to go again. So I'm shopping around. Hair House Warehouse, $78. I'm going, no, I can get better. You know, this is a transaction.
Is this a wash as well or just
no,
a cut?
just a cut. I'm like, you're not going to wash my hair. I know this is horrible to say, but I'm like, I don't want anyone to see me. I don't want anyone to see me in filming me. So I'm like, all right, I just want to trim in and out. Hair House Warehouse, $78. Then I thought, you know what? I'm going to go to Just Cuts. Now, this is a place my brother goes for like to shave his head or whatever.
And they
know what I
ask
mean?
for like a number 4 and off they go.
Totally. Anyway, they quote me $47. Sold.
Like right on the spot?
Oh, yeah. This
It's a
is the
walk-in?
thing. It's a walk. You don't need to book. It wasn't an
Okay.
all-time low. Possibly. Did I think, screw it? No, just commit? Yes. So 10 minutes later, my hair was done.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. I know. I've never had a haircut done so quickly like that before. And as I said, when I was sitting, I'm like, please no one see me. Please don't. I just need to get it done. Around me, I'm telling you, I'm the only woman in there. The rest are these men on their lunch breaks.
Were you happy with it?
Well,
It looks good.
And look, thank you. I went home, I washed it, I styled it, I did my own treatment, I put some hydration in it, and it's actually fine. And it's gonna, I feel like it's gonna do me till February.
Did he also ask what you wanted?
No, she went. So
Oh,
it was a
was he?
woman. It was a woman, and she actually she was starting to cut. And do you know what she didn't do? You know, at the start they usually part your hair where you want to part, and then they know where to cut. She just started. I was like,
She started going at
I was
it.
like, excuse me, can you please make it a middle part? Like I want it to be symmetrical at least. But she just went at it. Obviously, it's just they pump them in. You just, it's a volume business, right?
$48, 10 minutes.
I know.
That hourly,
It's decent, isn't it?
she can get a few in for that. She's probably making more than if she had one person getting one haircut.
Exactly. And I think the moral of the story for me is anyone who's listening who's gone, I've not booked in time for Christmas because we know what it's like. It's chock-a-block right now with hairdresser bookings. Honestly, I don't regret it. Go to Just Cuts, get it done, and it'll get you going. What's top of mind for you?
I just finished season 7 of Outlander.
Oh.
This has been the journey. This has been the year of watching TV shows that has passed me by.
And you know what? I'm going to claim this because I'm pretty sure I forced you to watch Outlander.
You did. And I was like, no, I won't like it. I loved it.
I'm glad you loved it.
And like there was another one, Broadchurch. Excellent. Watched that this year as well. But have loved Outlander. The history is so good and it all kind of links up.
That's the thing. I love that they bring in real historical events.
Yes, it's so clever. It's kind of like Call the Midwives. They do the same thing.
Oh, I didn't know.
But I'm also getting really deep now into like trying to sequence the time traveling together because you're kind of realizing there was more characters that were time travelers than what you realized.
Oh. Wait,
Mhm.
even now in another confession. I actually never finished season 7. I need to go back now and do that. When they went to America, I got bored, but I need to push through. We're not going to spoil it for the people listening, but you already know some of the other time travelers, but you're saying even more so in the last
Yeah,
season.
there's like little things that you kind of know how they
Wow.
connect in. And I've also realized the books. I'm going to start reading books.
But also And I've already raved about this to you. I'm so excited, but now you can watch Blood of My Blood.
Yes, that's what I'm going to watch next.
It's better.
I've got The Beast in Me to watch.
Yeah.
Then I'll watch Blood of My Blood.
Yeah.
Then I've got the new Christmas season of Called the Midwife, which I'm very excited about.
Brilliant.
So that's going to keep me very busy over this period.
I've got a list of things I need to get through. Can I remember what they are? No. But I just finished All Your Fault. All Her Fault.
Did you like it?
Amazing.
I
Loved
told
it.
you it was filmed in Docklands. Most of it.
I recognised a lot of the places.
Yeah.
Amazing show. It would give me anxiety if I was a parent, I think, but because it's purely entertainment, amazing.
Cast lineup is excellent as well.
Yeah. And sorry, remind me quickly, we're going down a tangent now. Main actress, Australian woman.
She was in Succession.
Oh, I never saw Succession. I was like, I don't recognise. I'm watching it going, I know everyone's saying she's a big actress,
Sarah
but I
Snook.
do not
She's won
recognise her.
awards.
Okay.
Jake Lacey, who was the husband.
Oh, he's from White Lotus.
Yeah, but he's consistently always evil. So when I saw him, I was like, I know you're going to be evil just because it's you.
Yes. And then the sister also plays the poor have you seen The Bear? The sister from The Bear. Anyway.
Yeah.
Loved it. Loved it. And also Dakota Fanning, though, that was probably the one thing. I thought she did a great job. Do I still see her as a child? Yes. And I felt like she's still the same age as the nannies.
Yeah.
So I struggled with that a little bit.
Also, like seeing her as a mum, it's a bit like jarring.
I'm not used to it.
No.
And I think as well, because she's got gorgeous skin. She's basically Peter Pan. But she looked much younger than the husband. And I think that didn't help either.
She did.
But she did a great job. It's just
we've also got to remember this. She's 31 years old. She was born in 1994.
She must have been playing someone a little bit older, surely.
Yeah. Gab, we had to do an update on the Tom Silvagni, particularly given that on Wednesday of last week he was sentenced. We genuinely didn't realise that this segment would be this popular because we are welcoming so many more listeners that we weren't prepared for.
We are, which is great because I think that this case is something that should be broadcasted right now because we've seen justice for the victim.
But people keep bringing it up. If you go to like barbecues this year, people are talking about it, group chats, golf courses. The one thing I'll say is everyone seems to have inside information on this.
I know. Everyone seems to know a friend of a friend.
I was at a barbecue where someone was talking about it on the golf course who apparently had all this inside information and details that I had never heard before. But we were asking ourselves, why are people so interested in this story? Because we've covered a lot of news, but this is the one where we've welcomed so many new viewers purely because of the words Tom Silvagni.
Yeah, and I think partly of that is because we've surprisingly seen justice where we thought the odds were against it and that actually he might be found not guilty due to the amount of resources that have been going into this.
The resources and the statistics, which is that for a case to have gotten this far and then had found guilty with 9 men, 3 women, statistically, it just doesn't happen. It's very, very low chance, but it has happened. And last week, Tom Silvagni was sentenced to over 6 years in prison with a non-parole period of just over 3 years after being convicted on 2 counts of rape. The judge was very clear to a point that I think is being muddied online, which is digital rape is still rape. It doesn't matter that there were no injuries, no STDs, no visible violence. It doesn't make it any less serious. And crucially, the judge acknowledged the long-term trauma caused to the victim, not just what happened that night, but what will continue to shape her life. And I think that validation, it really mattered.
It did. He did set an example, a great example.
And that was the point. And I think that's there's the punishment to the victim, but there's a message to the community, which is this type of coercive behaviour is unacceptable.
Yeah, unacceptable.
But I also think why people are so obsessed with this story, I think the first reason is wealth being held accountable.
Let's not dance around that. We didn't expect it to go this way because usually wealth buys people out of most scenarios.
100%. This family had access to elite lawyers. They had top psychiatric evidence that could say that Thomas Silvagni's mental health would be impacted if he was named prior to an outcome of the case being held. Repeated court applications to go up to the Supreme Court for the suppression order, and it was a prolonged suppression order. So they had 2 legal teams, one focused on the crime trial and one focused on the suppression order.
A significant investment. They didn't really take, a shortcut on anything. They really put it all in there.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to shock a lot of people, particularly in that demographic, in that sort of social sphere, that having that resource behind you is not necessarily going to make it go the way you want it to go.
People don't like the idea that money can buffer consequences. The second thing is I actually think the suppression order created this guessing game. People really liked the idea of gossip. I know something that you don't. They liked the idea of who is it. Everyone wanted to know who it was, and I think it made it even bigger.
I think about this because they obviously wanted the name suppressed, so then that way the name wasn't in the media and there wasn't a scandal around it. But you're right, it made it more PRable because it was sort of dangling this carrot that everyone wanted to know what it was.
People love tea.
They love the tea. So I almost think, was it worth doing that? I don't know.
Well, I go back to what I said last week, which is had he been found not guilty, some people would have known about this, but
It would
the
have spread
majority of us,
eventually, right?
yeah, but it's a different thing. Like it wouldn't have been as salacious in the news. It wouldn't have been as heavily talked about.
There would be limitations.
There would be limitations.
Yeah.
We would never have been able to probably talk about it because the
That's
suppression
true.
order probably would have remained.
Yep, you're right.
So we would only be talking about the high-profile man who's been found not guilty.
Yeah, that's true. It does, to a certain extent, limit how much people can go into it.
Yeah.
For a long period of time after.
Yeah. And that brings me to the third point, which is like it's salacious, even though it's awful. Like we're saying people like tea, but this is very uncomfortable but true because this story has deception, darkness, privilege, betrayal. It's like an episode of Law and Order, and that's why people like it. And it removes us from the fact that the consumption of this is a real person who's living with real trauma.
It really does. Like, I think a lot of people are interested in this because the layers of it feels like it's entertainment. And it's horrible to say, but this is what people, as you say, they're digesting TV shows and things that cover these layers of corruption. But in reality, we've got this victim here who has lived this herself, who's going to have to relive this over and over for the rest of her life.
Yeah, and her victim impact statement was devastating. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't attention-seeking. She spoke about her fear, loss of trust, and how that stayed with her ever since. And the judge did a really good job of validating her experience. He didn't minimize it. He didn't sanitize it. And he was very good at linking his remarks to her statement, which is really important.
That's critical because we know that once a sentencing happens, we do see that empathy drop off.
Yes. And we actually have seen that. So last week we spoke about, what I said about the vibe test and you were like, what's that? Prior to sentencing, I would say that the vibes were good. People were very much centered on he has done this, consequences to action.
It was unified.
It was quite unified. However, once the sentence being passed down, he's going to jail for 6 years. And by the way, the 6 years is prescribed. So the judge had to actually set a sentence that was in that realm.
Oh, okay.
Because it's like very prescribed. There's a little bit of flexibility here or there, but he had to provide, based on the average being 10 years, he had to do 60%. And then those two charges, some could be concurrent, some could be consecutive. So it was very outlined with the guidelines of what he needed to do.
The formula was there.
Exactly. But I started seeing pop-ups of people making comments against the victim, calling her attention-seeking. We're seeing a lot more sympathy to the family. And sure, it's sad. Like, it's very sad to have your child.
I've seen a lot more sympathy for the family. I think if people are pointing their fingers at the family, that's not right. In the end, it's the individual that has chosen to go down this path and take these actions. But I'd still feel really off by that they didn't listen to that impact statement.
Well, at sentencing, what's been alleged by the media is that she glared at the victim again.
Really?
But in terms of what might happen next, Gab, and where we might go from here, I would say it's more likely than not they will be appealing. There's a limited window after sentencing.
How much time do they have to decide?
28 days, but they can get an extension. Mushroom Lady got an extension.
They probably, given that it's end of the year, I don't know. And because, I mean, this is what I don't understand is he's got his sentence. Is he in jail right now?
He is in jail.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the sentence has started.
Yeah, sentence has started. There's two broad paths that his defense team, if they are appealing, might go down. One is to appeal the sentence itself. And the prosecution could argue that it's also grossly inadequate. They haven't said that they are looking to do that. But the defense can argue that the sentence is too severe for the charges and the guidelines haven't been correctly applied. They can also appeal the conviction on a technical or legal basis, and they say that the judge misdirected the jury, evidence was not handled correctly, or there's procedural errors. That goes up to a group of judges. They will review it, and there might be different pathways. One might be that they say, nope, everything is good. Justice has worked as it should be. They could quash the conviction, which means that a retrial might be ordered.
Yep.
And retrials don't always then occur because you've got to get the victim involved.
Does someone want to go through it all again?
Yes.
Right.
So with the Brittany Higgins, Bruce Lerman rape trial in the ACT, Brittany Higgins wasn't in the right frame of mind to be able to support a second trial after the first one was aborted. So that didn't occur. It can be completely overthrown. So the appeal judges say, we're throwing out the conviction. By the way, we will not be allowing this to be retried. And then finally, they can also adjust the sentence and it can go up or down. So sometimes you gamble with an appeal and you end up with the highest.
So you say they've got 28 days unless there's an extension. So this isn't the last we're going to hear of it. We'll find out soon enough. All right. If you saw the headlines about the Epstein files dropping last Friday and thought, well, that sounds unpleasant and I'm out, this one really is for you. The US Department of Justice did release quite a few materials around the 19th of December, but it wasn't a smoking gun moment. It was more of a context and question than conclusion. So there's been a lot of noise around this. However, what we've got is an incomplete picture, but also pretty quick political fallout as well.
One thing I will comment on this, Gab, is it was like a ticket waiting room. Like, you know, when you buy tickets on Ticket Tech and you got to wait in the lobby to access the tickets.
Yeah.
You had to line up to wait to access the Epstein files.
Yes. And it's kind of like that, isn't it? But then there's been a lot of disappointment as well.
Have you seen some of them? Some of them I've been cackling at because rightly so, the Department of Justice needs to redact if a victim is referenced. But some of the files were just like a full black redaction. Like you actually can't see
the whole page
was redacted. The other thing is that published some files and then retrospectively redacted them. And some of those were files that included Trump.
Oh, there you go.
So then people are kind of now questioning what's been redacted, but was redacted to help powerful people rather than protect victims. And it's just this law of corruption and hidden information that they cannot escape.
No, they can't escape it. What they have released has been very selective.
It's supposed to be the rest of the files, but it is the way that they have redacted information that's causing a lot of the controversy.
Yeah. So this whole release has been part of that Epstein Files Transparency Act, which legally requires the records to be published by the 19th of December, which they have been, though the DOJ said that it couldn't meet its deadline in time because they needed more time to protect victim identities. And hence, we've got a lot of names, a lot of faces that are being scrubbed out. And so, yeah, there's a lot of incomplete information in there. Some names and images in the initial release grabbed attention. We do have a list here, which Claire, you'll go through, but it's sort of giving you a bit of a top line of what was found in there.
So what we had in there, Gab, was lots of photos which included Bill Clinton and Bill Clinton sort of kicking back in a pool. That was creepy.
But also, yeah, just a lot of him in pools, like smiling in like holiday scenarios. He's in a lot.
Yes. And what I will say about these is some names and images were like hooks to grab attention, but nothing in these files really showed a lot of wrongdoing or things that we didn't already know.
No.
There was one of Prince Andrew at Balmoral Estate with like him lying across women.
Yeah.
Oh my God, so creepy, so gross.
I know.
And with celebrities like Kevin Spacey, Mick Jagger, Michael Jackson. That was a bit weird, the Michael Jackson one.
I didn't expect that, to be honest.
Yeah. And my favorite thing about it, right, is all these women that are like, I had nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. I never met him. I might have passed him in conversation. He was grasping, blah, blah, blah. Why did she take so many photos with him?
No, I know. And even, like some of me, we're barely friends and they've written letters saying, happy birthday to my best mate. It's just, there's a paper trail. Like you can't deny.
Like, unless you're at like an event and it's like that kind of forced event thing.
Some of these look like private photos. They're not event photos.
They're like very casual and they look very comfy and cozy.
Agreed.
And even Donald Trump's name and at least one image appeared in the files that were removed. And as we mentioned, this is never going away. They cannot win.
No, they can't win. And there were about 16 of those files that included Trump, which have disappeared, which is quite frustrating because, again, it's very selective what they're releasing, and the government is trying to control some of the narrative of what they can. But it just seems like it's just a firestorm. I think there will be political implications out of this. It's only a couple of days after the release now.
Yeah. Advocates and survivors have been vocal. They've welcomed having some of the material out there, but many say that the heavy reduction particularly is limiting true accountability. And they also argued whether the reductions were protecting them or other people.
Yes, and there's also a congressional push towards US Attorney General in contempt of Congress for not fully complying with the required deadline as well.
Yeah, so Pam Bondi didn't do it when she was supposed to do it, and they're saying that's enough to hold her in contempt of Congress for that behaviour. To be honest, the reason for the delay is that they were struggling to get it all turned over and go through it and redact it.
There's a lot of files there.
A lot of files.
One thing that we should stress is just because someone might be in photos here, we don't necessarily know their criminal implication here.
No, but I also say you put yourself with that man.
Well, that's the thing. It's that saying of you are the people you surround yourself with?
100%. There's times in life that I say, well, you chose to do that. You were benefiting from this man. By all accounts, he was an awful human being, but you still chose to be friends with him.
Yes. And I'm sure that what he was, not all of what he was doing, but I'm sure some of it was known within certain circles.
So I think in terms of Gab, we've spoken about the Epstein files a lot this year.
We have.
It's not going away.
Given that Christmas is a couple of days away, we need to talk about how there's certain elements of it that genuinely isn't a holiday anymore. For women in particular, it can often be a time where you feel like it's that annual audit of your life. You walk into Christmas with the family, your shoes are still on, and suddenly you're being assessed. Big year, big questions. So where are we landing with this year, Claire?
It's always from the relatives who don't actually know what you do day to day, but somehow they also feel like entitled to have that information. What's going on with your body, your timeline, your future. And I mean, sometimes those aunties, their confidence is so impressive.
Oh, it is. And this is the thing. It's like these questions that are put towards us, they're framed so casually, like just checking in. But the second you arrive, it's very clear you're being evaluated.
Yeah.
So I really do think that Christmas does heighten people's anxiety about their timelines with life, because already it's the end of year, you're already reflective, and then suddenly you're being measured by your progress.
Yeah, and it also feels very gendered because Christmas is all about family, legacy, continuity. And there's always questions like, oh, do you think we'll have more grandchildren next year? And you're like, Susan, that's not helpful.
But also, they only ever ask the women these things. Men get asked, and obviously we're generalizing, but I'm talking based on experience. Men get asked, how's work going? Maybe like what they're watching on TV, the footy team, how it's tracking. Whereas the women get asked questions that basically require a 5-year strategy. You try to answer them politely, over your seafood, like it's normal.
I know. And the classic one they always start with is if it's like a couple and you've been together longer than like a year.
Oh.
So when are you getting married? And it's always delivered like, how's the weather today?
Oh, it is. It's not even, are you getting married? It's when.
Yeah.
And as we said, women do cop these, and marriage has become this sort of quiet KPI, which women are expected to hit with gratitude, of course.
Yeah. And then you have the kid one.
Yes.
Oh, are you thinking about having children? Or do you think next year there'll be maybe another addition to the family?
Yeah, and this is a thing. There's such an assumption there. And I think it's particularly now, I think, at the age that we are, even if someone wants to have kids, it's not easy. So these are conversations that aren't as light as the weather. It's so much to unpack. And potentially, these are family members you've seen once. You haven't seen them since this time last year.
Yeah, and then if you respond awkwardly, they respond awkwardly, and then it's just awkward. And then that auntie is having a conversation about that in the car on the way home to her husband.
100%. And the other one I don't like is, so you're still at that job. I mean, that underlying tone there of like, oh, like your progress only looks one way. It's upward, it's linear, there's no pivot, there's no such thing as burnout.
Yeah. Or, oh, are you guys still renting? Are you planning on buying?
It's so different.
And I mean, it's like, oh, you have your beautiful house that you got for like
I know.
the price of a can of Coke in 1985. That's great for you, but it's hard.
Yeah, times have changed.
Capitalism's made things very complicated.
Oh, it has. And look, this is the thing. It's like there's so many other things you can talk about. I don't know, but why do they go back? Like, it causes a lot of stress that doesn't need to be there. And this is the thing. It's like, it's quite interesting because I think about this year and, you know, egg freezing has also entered the chat this year in a big way. Do we think that that's going to be something that people ask about or family ask about moving forward?
My mother was educated a lot on IVF and egg freezing this year.
Yes, she was.
She had no idea.
Really?
She had no clue because her only guiding light on what is IVF was because her cousin had it like in the 1990s.
Oh, wow.
And it's like,
No, she's been on that journey this year with you.
I was like, Mum, technology's changed in 30 years. And she's like, yes, I guess it would have. Like, bless her, but for her, she entered the chat.
Yeah. The other one is, you know, which I haven't got yet. I hope I don't get this. Or like, I would dream about getting this question and just like ready to fire back. But like, are you still prioritizing your career? Can you
That's
imagine
so, that can be so weaponized because if you say yes, it's about the think of the children. If you say no, it's the untapped potential.
Yeah, there's no winning there.
You can't win. No. And then finally, and this always happens over dessert, are you happy? It's like,
Oh, I don't even know. Like, where do you even start with that?
it's supposed to sound caring, but it's not curiosity. It's often correction.
I really want to start putting together like a list of answers just to go back and just go, I don't know, just put the mirror in front of them and go, are you happy, Janet?
I mean, you can't do that because then you're giving them more stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
right?
No.
You can sort of say, I'm in my mystery era. I'm focusing on my side quests. Confusion, that can be power.
How would you even phrase that though? I guess confusion's a good one. Kind of a non-answer.
Be like, oh, we're still working through that. You
Yeah.
know, there's lots to consider. A few things that we need to sort of tackle first before we can kind of get on top of that one. Or, yeah, we've been thinking about that. It's still an evolving beast.
Or do you just say it how it is, but lightly, and just ruin the vibe just enough?
A lot of this is sort of us in jest and venting. Family is really important, and they generally don't mean.
Well, this is the thing. I think it's a generational thing
It
where
is.
you kind of have to just go, you know what? I know you don't mean it in the way that you come across right now.
Yeah, that.
So, yeah, cheers to that.
We could be the
Travis.
bigger person. Okay, Gab, before we wrap, we want to talk about 2025 as a whole because it's been one of those years and I don't want to feel dramatic in the way, but it is been heavy in hindsight. And symbolically, it has been the year of the snake, and the snake isn't about reinvention. It's about shedding skin, letting go of not what no longer fits, even if that process is slow and uncomfortable.
And that really resonates. This year didn't just blow up loudly. It quietly revealed as we went on what was already cracking. And once you see that, you can't unsee it.
For me, 2025 was the year that illusions fell away because we learned a lot about, you know, what we were doing at work, about, you know, what we saw as stability, how much control we think we have, and things that we were told were solid suddenly weren't. Like there was a few times where, you know, things were rocky, and instead of offering neat endings, people were forced into uncertainty they no longer wanted to have.
Yeah, exactly. 2025 didn't reward rushing. It rewarded honesty. I think for me particularly, this year has been a year of slowing down and actually listening to what I need rather than just go, go, go. So it's really been a year of reflection. I think what you've just said before is it is sort of what's working and what's not.
Yeah.
And just getting rid of what's not.
My thing this year has been about cortisol because I realized that I had so much stress in my life, and learning how to better manage that and take different things. Like I've started sauntering all the time and I'm obsessed, and more exercise and just being slower, like saying no to things if you're tired.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same with that. And actually less is more. So for me as well with that, it's quality over quantity this year.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. So Gab, what would you say some of your highlights of 2025 have been?
Oh, starting this podcast, of course.
Yeah, it's been we've actually done the whole year.
I know, I'm so surprised. Like, well done us.
Like there were times where we could have been like,
There were times that were tough.
yeah, but we pushed through.
We did push through. So I think that's really great. We've seen that through. Obviously, this year's travel's been great. Loved Hawaii. That was awesome. I think this year I've really spent more time sort of making my house a home, which is all nice.
Actually, it is really cozy.
Yeah.
And you've moved things around.
So I would say that, like, those are the highlights is really like, yeah, just slowing down, enjoying the little things. I really deliberately this year pulled back my spending on like going out and eating all the time. I've cooked up in like, and sort of what's positive come out of that is I'm cooking a lot more this year, which I really enjoy.
Yeah.
What about you?
I would say mine, as I already said, managing stress. So definitely prioritizing my own well-being, which I've been loving.
Yeah.
The other thing, and we've both done this, is we really cut back on alcohol.
I forgot about this. That has to be
The best thing we've done.
the best thing.
Yeah.
And part of that is understanding the why we drink alcohol in certain circumstances. Either for me, it's sort of looking at going, am I drinking that because I'm bored and I don't actually enjoy that? And it's making me look at things differently, going, what do I actually enjoy where alcohol doesn't have to be part of this?
100%. And I've just found that I don't need to drink. And I think like I had a moment before I started like cutting right back and then went through a couple of months of not drinking at all. And now I sort of more selective about if I do have alcohol. But it was that I was like chasing the night, like went out with friends, we had a great day. And then everyone's like, all right, well, going home to blah, 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 do this and that. And I was like, oh, I want to keep going.
Yeah, I definitely was there as well. Whereas now it's sort of like I can call it when it's enough is enough.
Yeah, exactly. But also I just don't even have those thoughts because I haven't had anything to begin with. And learning that there's some really good options out there, not having hangovers the next morning. The changes to your face, like the not having the inflammation.
Yes, exactly. Although, side note, I spent too much time on TikTok in recent weeks. And now it's telling me I have lipedema.
What?
Yeah. So anyway, stay tuned. I need to do some research. It's telling me I need like some kind of vibration machine. And
I saw this.
I know. Oh, you're on the algorithm is betraying me.
This year is 2026 when Gab gets a vibrating plate.
I know. It sounds so sexual.
Like this is the new walking pad. It's got the vibration plate.
It's literally that.
Yeah.
So what have we got to look forward to next year? The year of the horse.
What is the year of the horse?
Well, Claire, I'm so glad you asked. So this is a completely different energy to the year of the snake. It's all about movement, momentum, forward motion, confidence. It's not about sitting in uncertainty. It's basically about taking action of what you've learned. So it's that year of ascension.
I love that.
Yeah, me too.
This is the energy we absolutely need.
I know. That's all we've got time for the last episode of the year for Spin Cycle.
Thank you for listening, sharing, sending us your thoughts, and sticking with us through a big year of stories, debate, and our perspectives shifts and unblocking the spin on things.
Yes, exactly. We will be back. It will be the second week of January. Once we've had a bit of time to reset for the new year of the horse, with fresh episodes and some new energy.
Until then, enjoy the break, be kind to yourselves, and we'll see you in 2026.
Cheers.